Have you ever wondered why some of the most quietly powerful people you meet in life seem to walk alone? Why certain individuals with no big circle, no buzzing group chats, and no constant social noise often carry an aura that is impossible to ignore? Today, we're diving into a topic that many avoid, misunderstand, or judge far too quickly. The hidden personality traits of people who have few or no friends. And before your mind goes to weakness, awkwardness, or emotional fragility, stop. That's not what this is about. In fact, what we'll uncover may surprise you, because the people who walk alone are often the ones equipped with rare strengths, inner qualities, and a depth of character that set them apart in the most extraordinary ways. We live in a world obsessed with numbers, follower counts, likes, comments, endless social updates. Somewhere along the way, society began to believe that the more people you have around you, the more successful you must be. But is that really true? Think carefully. How many of the most brilliant minds, the boldest thinkers, the most influential leaders in history were known for being part of a big crowd? Very few. What you'll notice, if you look closer, is that many of them were outsiders, quiet observers, or lone wolves who walked their own path. In this video, we're going to explore 6 fascinating character traits, qualities that people with few friends often share, qualities that are misunderstood yet deeply powerful. And trust me, by the end of this, you won't see solitude the same way again. You might even find yourself appreciating the strength of your own quiet moments a little more. So let's begin with the very first trait, one that shines brightest when the world isn't watching. Trait 1. Authenticity when someone has few friends. Society often assumes the worst. They must be antisocial. They must be awkward. They must have something wrong with them. But the truth is far more interesting. Often, a small social circle isn't a sign of weakness at all, but a sign of authenticity, a loyalty to one's true nature in a world where most people are performing. Think about it. How many people today actually dare to be themselves? How many people speak their truth without adjusting their tone, their personality, or their beliefs just to fit in? Most are caught in a constant dance of approval, bending themselves into shapes that please others, following trends they don't even like, agreeing with things they don't believe in. But people with few friends often refuse to play that game. They follow their values, not the crowd. They stand by their principles, even when it's inconvenient. They express their feelings honestly, even when it might cost them popularity. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This kind of integrity is rare, and people who walk alone often possess it naturally. When you spend real time alone, you develop a type of inner stability that cannot be shaken by trends or public opinion. You learn to trust your own instincts. You learn to understand your inner world. And you learn that being true to yourself matters far more than being accepted by everyone else. These individuals have their own style, their own rhythm, their own way of seeing life. They copy no one. They chase no validation. And in a world overflowing with imitation, their authenticity becomes a quiet kind of rebellion, a soft but undeniable strength. Trait 2. Independence. Its second trait is one of the most misunderstood. yet one of the most empowering: independence. People with few friends are often forced to develop a powerful inner resilience. The ability to rely on themselves for emotional stability, confidence, and happiness. Look around. How many people crumble when they are not surrounded by others? How many depend on constant messages, calls, or social plans just to feel normal? How many feel anxious at the idea of spending a weekend, or even one evening, completely alone? But those who walk alone learn something different. They learn that solitude is not emptiness. It is space. It is clarity. It is strength. They solve their problems themselves. They make decisions with a clear mind. They move through life without waiting for approval, permission, or applause. This independence becomes a form of quiet freedom, the kind that allows them to live by their own rules rather than the expectations of others. In a world where people are often controlled by social pressure, obligations, or the fear of being left out, independent individuals remain anchored. Their happiness doesn't come from external validation. It comes from knowing who they are and what they want. It comes from being able to stand alone without feeling lonely, and that kind of independence is rare. But for those who walk alone, it becomes their natural state, a calm, unshakable foundation that guides almost every part of their lives. As we move forward from the idea of independence, another powerful truth begins to unfold, one that explains why the social circles of these individuals are often small, but remarkably meaningful. Trait 3. Selectivity. Third trait is selectivity. And make no mistake, this isn't arrogance, coldness, or superiority. It's wisdom. If you have few friends, it may simply be because you choose them carefully. You set high standards for your relationships, and that's not only acceptable, it's admirable. You're not someone who collects connections out of boredom or fear of being alone. You don't fill your life with people just to silence the quiet. Instead, you choose consciously, intentionally, thoughtfully. While many fall into shallow or even toxic relationships, because they cannot bear the discomfort of solitude, you'd rather wait for the right bond than settle for the wrong one. You know exactly what you want, and perhaps even more importantly, what you will no longer tolerate. You recognize who uplifts you and who drains you. You sense sincerity, integrity, and truthfulness, sometimes long before others do. Your boundaries are clear, your values are non-negotiable, and in a world where many accept almost any company just to avoid eating alone, your ability to choose, and sometimes to walk away, is a quiet act of self-protection and inner strength. You understand that not every smile is genuine, not every conversation is meaningful, and not everyone deserves access to your life. You'd rather have a small handful of true friends, the kind who understand your depth, respect your silence, and enrich your life, than a crowd of people who only add noise. It's like a master chef selecting ingredients for an exceptional dish. He doesn't fill his kitchen with random supplies just to look abundant. He chooses fewer items, but each one is of the highest quality. That is exactly how you treat your relationships. It may mean your circle is smaller. Yes, it may mean you stand alone more often than others. But the people who remain in your life have earned their place, not through convenience, but through truth, alignment, and mutual respect. And that is worth infinitely more than a long list of superficial contacts. Trait 4. Introspection. Fourth trait that often emerges in people with few friends is introspection. It is the ability to dive deeply into your inner world. And this may be one of the most remarkable qualities anyone can possess today. When you do not spend your time constantly entangled in social activities, you naturally create space. Space to think, space to reflect, space to understand yourself on a level most people never reach. It is almost as if solitude grants you a key to an inner universe, a vast landscape of thoughts, memories, emotions, and insights waiting to be explored. Marcus Aurelius understood this centuries ago. To him, self-reflection was not optional. It was essential. Look around today. Most people are pulled outward, not inward. They are lost in notifications, news updates, and trends. They drift through life like leaves in the wind, carried by whatever is loudest, never stopping long enough to ask themselves what they truly feel or what they truly want. But you are different. You have developed a rare ability to tune into your inner world. It is like having your own private library. A library filled with experiences, lessons, and truths that only reveal themselves to those who dare to look within. You know how to sit alone without feeling disconnected. You know how to explore your inner thoughts with curiosity instead of fear. And in a world overstimulated by noise, this level of introspection becomes a superpower. A source of clarity and emotional intelligence that many desperately lack, while others search for answers outside, in opinions, advice, or endless distractions. You understand that the greatest discoveries are born in silence. You analyze your motivations honestly. You understand your desires deeply. And you can examine your actions without self-judgment. Not to criticize yourself, but to grow. This is emotional maturity in its purest form. Your inner world becomes a kind of sanctuary, a secret garden that continues to bloom even when the outside world feels chaotic or hostile. You may spend more time alone than others, but that time is never lost. It is invested in something far more valuable than constant social activity. It is invested in self-knowledge, and that kind of wealth the world can never take away from you. As we move from introspection into the lessons it brings, another truth reveals itself. It shows what all of these traits ultimately lead to. The fifth trait is growth. A small circle, or even the absence of one, can show that you are an evolved personas. The philosopher Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Resistance, solitude, and challenges are not obstacles for you. They are opportunities." When someone has few friends, it often means they have reached a higher level of awareness, a deeper understanding of life. Picture it like this. While most people remain trapped in shallow perceptions and external appearances, you have developed something far more valuable: maturity, emotional intelligence, wisdom. It is as if you are looking down at the world from the top of a mountain, while others remain in the valley. Your perspective is wider, your vision is clearer, your understanding is deeper. You perceive connections others overlook. You understand truths that many cannot imagine. This growth is not accidental. It is the result of your ability to turn loneliness into development, to turn quiet into elevation, To use solitude as fuel for inner evolution. Where others see isolation, you see elevation. A chance to grow spiritually, a chance to grow emotionally, a chance to grow intellectually, while many remain stuck in narrow patterns of thought. You continue to grow. You continue to transform. You continue to rise. Trait 6. Heightened observation, and then comes the 6th trait. One that is often invisible from the outside, but extraordinary on the inside. A heightened power of observation. People with few or no friends often see the world with a clarity most people never experience. When your life is not clouded by constant social noise or distraction, your senses sharpen. You notice patterns others miss. You pick up emotional currents before anyone speaks. You read intentions, atmospheres, and subtle shifts with intuitive precision. While many rush through life surrounded by chatter and distraction, you move differently, quietly, softly, but with far more awareness. You observe how people behave, how they speak, how they treat others when no one is watching. From these observations, you develop a deep understanding of human nature, an understanding that cannot come from books or rules. It comes from presence, from silence, from attention. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so we may listen twice as much as we speak." That is your strength. You listen, you watch, you absorb. This perception becomes a shield. It protects you from toxic people before they get close. It helps you make wiser decisions because you see the truth beneath the surface. It guides you toward environments and relationships that match your values. In a world drowning in noise, your silence becomes an advantage. Where others see chaos, you see meaning. Where others fall for appearances, you see intention. Where others rush, you understand. This level of observation is one of the most underrated strengths a person can have. And it belongs to those who are not afraid to walk alone. And now, as we reach the end of this journey, I want to speak to you from the heart. Your presence here means more than you may realize. The attention you have given, the openness you brought, and the way you listened create a connection that goes beyond the screen. If these traits resonate with you, if you see yourself in these words, then know this: you are not alone. You belong to a rare group of people who choose depth over noise, growth over conformity, truth over acceptance. If this message touched you, please share it with someone who may need it. Give this video a like. And if you want more content that nourishes your inner world, do not forget to subscribe. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your spirit. I will see you soon for more deep thoughts, for more clarity, and for more reminders of the strength already within you.